Hello and good afternoon. This is video 711, which is coming to you from a new laptop. My old laptop crapped out, and so I bought a new laptop, and I wanted to test out the camera feature. So this probably will be kind of a shorter video. Uh, One of my friends had asked about parents and how do older parents deal with someone who transitions, and if it depends on the gender of the transitioning person. And I thought it was kind of an interesting thought experiment. And unfortunately, I can only speak from the trans woman side of things. But I think depending on how older your parents are, they say that people are often have to be put into the perspective of the age that they're from, put them in their time frame, meaning that, for example, my parents are in their 80s, and so the period of time to which they grew up, there were certain expectations as to what men can do and women can do, and that may not be, certainly is not aligned to what we think about men and women today. And so in my parents' example, um, to be a man was something that was revered, as something that was positive. It was powerful. To be a woman was something that was weaker and submissive. And so, from a point of power, to give up that power to transition from male to female was giving up your power. It was somewhat of a trade, being a traitor to your fellow empowered men, right? Masculine, empower. And so a father from that time period may really have a problem with their son giving up this supposed power to be a you know, to drop down in station, to be a woman, not as revered. Okay. Uh, Whereas a woman might be more accepting of a son becoming a daughter because it's welcoming them into her world and something by which she has something she can identify with. I think in general, um, you know, mothers are very protective of their children because they gave birth to them. Birth mothers. They went through the pregnancy, they carried the child to term, they have an investment. There's a part of them in that child. Very visual. I carried you for 9 months type thing. And so while initially a mom might say like, "You're not my son, you're not my child, you'll never be my daughter," da 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 da. I think ultimately they will come back because of that. They would much rather have the child, albeit change from their initial perspective and opinion of what that child is in their life. I think they're much more flexible on that. They would much rather have love from their child than no love. Although initially it's going to be, "Ooh, I don't want you in my life." Da, da, da. Now, unfortunately, that kind of puts a black eye or paints a dad in a bad picture. And obviously, I can tell you myself as a father. I mean, uh, I'm very protective of my child still, and much like the mother, I would bend over backwards for my child. I think as a father who loves a child will do that. And so, uh, you know, more contemporary parents, not like my parents in their 80s, maybe someone in their 60s or their 50s or less, they might have been grown up in a different environment where women were more equal. They definitely could be cooler as far as being more aware of people and whatnot. So I think the younger the parents are, if they were raised in a very open and contemporary environment, the more open-minded they're going to be towards transition. So that's going to be my sample video just to test this out. Obviously, it's not a universal truth. Your mileage may vary or whatever, but it is a trend that I've kind of noticed with trans women and their fathers. Um, you know, uh, not feeling as close to their fathers as their mothers. There being a bit of animosity or just lack of involvement. I don't know. I don't know. Um, growing up, when I was an uncle, I would get down on my hands and my knees and I'd sit Indian style and play Legos with my nephews and my nieces. And I still would, you know. So I was kind of the cool uncle. So I think you can kind of be a cool person and be open minded. It doesn't necessarily have to be an aunt versus an uncle type thing. But I mean, I definitely was the cool uncle, the cool uncle. And then when the kids grew up, and I transitioned, I still think I'm the cool aunt, but I don't, I'm not an aunt. I have to rethink that statement. I'm not an aunt. Maybe I am an aunt. I'm not an aunt like, oh, Aunt Sally is a very, you know, well, boy, that is gender stereotypes, isn't it? Hmm. Darn those gender stereotypes. But again as our society gets, more contemporary and evolving, that in itself is changing. You know, I think about my aunts growing up, and no, they didn't play with me because I was a little boy. But they were with the little girls. Oh, isn't she cute? Doing the stereotypical girl stuff, and I don't know. I feel kind of left out in the cold. But anyway, that's in the past. We're in the present, and there's the future to look forward to. So things may change. But anyway, that's my video. We're going to see how this works. And the computer has not locked up, which is good. That means it's got a lot of memory to it, a lot of RAM, and a little bit here has not uh, collapsed it yet. There's a little bit. That's cat number 2. It's a little Sebastian, and Sebastian likes to sabotage Zoom calls and when I'm doing stuff on the internet, but he's behaving. So, all right, till next time, bye, and good luck in your life and in your transition. Bye bye, and go Iceland! Woo!